Hello, hello. Test, test. Okay, there we go. It's so weird when I don't stream for a while and then I boot up OBS again. It's just like nothing ever works. What's good, Blur Vision? How's it going? Okay, we're trying a couple new things here in terms of the stream layout. But good to see you, sir. You got that well-deserved #1 top fan crown. And also, I'm trying out headphones this time. Should make sound design a lot easier. Let's get the chat to the side. We're going to review the Ultra project, and we're also going to make some final tweaks in terms of sound effects and color. I realized I actually was making a mistake on the color grade when I was doing it. I was actually converting it to black. I was converting it to red raw Rec 709 instead of S-Log 3 Rec 709. So the color grade was actually looking pretty crazy. So we went in and fixed that since the last time we've streamed. There's a couple of sound effects that I want to tweak. I want to bring up the sound itself, like the music, and some other things, but I'm going to do one last check and make sure OBS is looking good. Let's pull it over here. And then, actually, this is what we're going to do. Actually, that doesn't work. So let's just do this for now. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. Yeah, they saw the end result. I believe, at least. We played it a couple of times, but let's watch it. Let's go ahead and watch it. Also, how are my levels sounding? Everything sounding good? Got me a puppy. Hopefully you didn't
Dear
just
Sydney,
hear me
I sent you something.
drinking that.
I've been thinking about the way that pain shaped both of us. That feeling like the world was already closing in before you even had a chance to move. You faced cancer, you lost your hearing, you missed whole pieces of childhood, but you never complained. You just kept going. Back then, I didn't know how to understand any of it, so I ran. from rooms I couldn't fix, from feelings I didn't want to sit with. You learn to live with limits that were never yours to begin with,
So
on how much you could take, on what you could become. And maybe it's time we test those limits. I'm about to take on one of my biggest challenges yet, 70 miles across the Silk Road. I want you there with me. It's your decision on whether you want to accept.
I'm done asking, why me? And holding the pain that was never mine to carry. I'm done telling myself I can't. Pain tried to define me, but I kept moving. This isn't just a run, it's a refinement. This is where I push past what I thought was possible. This is where limits break.
So that's what we got. There's a couple of things I want to make sure we fix. So the running sounds were definitely like too much in my opinion. And so we're going to change that. We're also going to change up this format here. Sorry, I'm just getting back in the swing of it. I just want to make sure that when I full screen it, that it's centered.
You face can't.
We can move it just a tad like this then. There we go. Okay, that should be good now. So we're gonna move his. We're gonna turn down the running steps. I think the footsteps are too much. I appreciate it, Blur Vision. You were there since the day one of this edit, so yeah, you've been OG as fuck. Definitely OG. Gotta love me some Poppy. I love soda, but I don't drink soda anymore for health reasons. So the closest I can get is Poppy, and hopefully Poppy's actually good for you too. There's certain spots that I want to emphasize more, and I feel like are getting lost a little bit. I think the song itself is a little bit too low, actually, when I'm rewatching it.
Maybe it's time we test those limits. I'm about to take on one of my biggest challenges yet, 70 miles across the Silk Road.
Right now, the levels are -18. So we can bring these up. Let's do like -12. Someone's knocking at our front door. -12. We're also going to decompose these layers here. We're going to do this right, not just quick. I think sound design right here is perfect. It's fine. I wouldn't say perfect, but it's good. This color right here needs to be fixed. You see these highlights were super blown out.
Dear Sydney, I sent you something. I've been thinking about the way that pain shaped both of us. That feeling like the world was already closing in before you even had a chance to move. You faced cancer, you lost your hearing, you missed whole pieces of childhood, but you never complained. You just kept going. Back then, I didn't know how to understand any of it. So I ran. From rooms I couldn't fix, from feelings I didn't want to sit with.
Okay, so let's turn down the running a lot. Like, all of these need to be turned down. Good way of doing that is just holding command and picking all of them and then bringing it down, bringing down the levels here.
So I ran.
That gust can come down too.
So I ran. From rooms I couldn't fix, from feelings I didn't want to sit with. You learned to live with limits that were never yours to begin with, on how much you could take, on what you could become. And maybe it's time we test those limits. I'm about to take on one of my biggest challenges yet, 70 miles across the Silk Road. I want you there with me. It's your decision on whether you want to.
So right here, we need to add drums. And again, guys, this is kind of our final pass through of just like fixing all the small things that kind of got looked over. So drum sound. I'm just going to make call outs with these markers. I hit M to get the markers.
It's your decision on whether you want to accept.
I'm done asking, why me? And holding the pain.
Also, these fireworks need to turn down for sure. I feel like it's kind of like getting lost in, the music's kind of getting lost here. Like the drop, like the hit should be, I feel like, pretty apparent. So I'm going to make the intro of the fireworks a little bit lower.
And holding the pain.
Because we really want to hear that boom right there at the drop, and then the fireworks come up. I think that's really important.
And holding the pain, that was never so
I think this could even come down a little bit more. -12. Let's see that.
And holding the pain, that was why me? And holding the pain. Why me? And holding
let's keep going down. -13, actually. -13.
And holding the pain, that was never mine to carry. Right? Carry. I'm done telling myself I can't.
These footsteps are crazy loud. What the hell?
Pain.
Let's bring these to like -8.
Pain tried to define me, but I kept moving. This isn't just a run, it's a regular. This is where I push past what I thought was possible. This is where limits break.
Okay, sounds, wind, okay.
I push past what I thought was possible. This is where limits break.
Okay.
This is where limits break.
Guys, why do I feel like it's Tuesday today? It's Monday. We have a full week. That's why Blur Vision said we have a full week. I was like, it feels like Tuesday today. But yeah, this is day one. Let's go. Wednesday I'll be shooting, so I won't be able to stream on Wednesday. But I should be able to stream Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. I will be gone. Actually, no, I won't. We're just doing 2 streams this week. Today and tomorrow. Maybe I could do Thursday morning. Actually, this is what I'll do. I'll do today, tomorrow, and then Thursday we're going to do another 7-hour stream. And get a bunch of stuff done. I feel like this feels like empty to me here. Almost.
Was possible. This is where limits break.
Like, this feels really kind of...
This is where limits break.
Oh, wow. Where are you from? I think I saw from your Instagram you're from France.
Possible. This is where limits break.
Yeah, we need like rock crumbles, all types of stuff right here. So let's just spend the rest of the streams just like nailing this video, and then we're gonna have to create some social pieces. So we're gonna do frames and also potentially some reels from this. So let's go over here. I know that there's like a rock crumble. Let's try something like this.
This is where limits break.
Amsterdam, wow.
This is where limits break.
I almost feel like the music is too loud again, but
limits break. It's possible. This is where limits break.
So let's open Soundly. We're gonna have to restart this for sure. Let's see if I can hear. I can. Okay, cool. Let's do like rock debris. Okay, that seems like a lot. God, it is loud. I like this. Sound. Let's throw this in here. Let me guess, it's mono. Yep. Hopefully somebody can actually teach me how to change everything coming in to be stereo rather than mono.
Possible. This is where limits break. This is where limits break. This is where limits break. Where limits break.
The Netherlands are super sick. I think I remember you telling me you're from Amsterdam, but it was a long time ago.
Break. This is where limits break.
Okay, so let's go over here, add the drums as well. I also feel like this area over here feels a little empty. Not this one. This area.
From rooms I couldn't fix, from feelings I didn't want to sit with.
Praveen, what's good? Jakur Blue Hill. Jakur Blue Hill. What's good? What's good? I feel like are we connected through Instagram? Praveen?
You learn to live with limits.
Maybe I just need to turn up some of these
with limits.
These whooshes. Are you in Tokyo right now? Yeah. You're in Tokyo, right? We've been DMing about Japan back and forth.
You learn to live with limits that were never yours to begin. You learn to live with limits that were never yours to begin with.
It's like right here that's like super empty. Like I could feel it. Oh hell yeah, bro. Dude, the footage that you've been getting it's been incredible. You don't like Germany?
On how much you could take, on what you could become.
Honestly, I don't know what else I would add here.
To begin with. On how much you could take.
Also, I should frame this a little bit more center frame.
Could take. To begin with. On how much you could take, on what you could become.
Dude, yeah, like the lighting that you were able to capture in Japan, power to you, bro. That was so nice. I honestly miss like every morning while I was there, and honestly sunsets didn't hit like every single time I was there. I know, dude. That's how I felt when I came back to Austin. I live in Austin, Texas. I was like, wow, Austin's tiny. But it's just because Tokyo's like ginormous. 3 times the size of New York, which is insane to me.
And maybe it's time we test those limits. I'm about to take on...
I guess it doesn't really make sense to have...
You learn to live with limits that were never yours to begin with. On how much you could take, on what you could become. And maybe it's time we test those limits. I'm about to...
Sound effects here. Like, I don't think I need them.
How much you could take, on what you could become. And maybe it's time we test those limits. I'm about to take on one of my biggest challenges yet. 70 miles across the Silk Road. I want you there with me.
Yeah, honestly, the whole time I was there, it was cloudy too. Like, it was fine conditions because I was okay with like the moody vibe. But if I was going for like a sunny sunset style Japan, I would be super disappointed because it was like cloudy and rainy the whole time.
It's your decision on whether you want to accept.
I'm done asking, why me? I'm holding the pain.
Yeah, those fireworks sound a lot better now than they did before.
Why me? I'm holding the pain that was never mine to carry. I'm done telling myself I can't.
Dude, this project was such a hustle. Like, we had a hike 70 miles. Is this the first time you stopped in the live stream? We had to hike 70 miles and also finish a campaign while also following the people's itinerary. Like, I couldn't like pull people at sunset to get like really nice shots. Because they had their whole itinerary and other people paid for it, so we couldn't like hold up the group. And so we just kind of had to get what we could get on the 70-mile hike, because there was about maybe 20 others that we couldn't hold up. And so whenever we got a shot, we had to like run to catch up. So it was like one of the hardest like shoots I've ever done. This is the Gobi Desert in China. We did 20 miles a day going through the desert, and it was insane. So it was like extremely run and gun, but I'm happy with the shots that we got.
I'm done asking why me and holding the pain that was never mine to carry. I'm done telling myself I can't. Pain tried to define me. Now
I need more like rock sounds here, so let's keep looking here. Ooh, that's a juicy sound. That's juicy. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for right here. Dude, this is super disorganized. Don't judge me. I feel like at the end of the project, everything is like everywhere. Yeah, it was an insane, like energy wise, it was super tough to try to like film and also get through the hike and complete the challenge. I fully died. Like we did China and then we did Japan, and after the Gobi Desert I was like so sick for like 4 days afterwards, and I was sick pretty much through the whole Japan, the time through Japan too.
tried to define me, but I can't move. Now pain tried to define me, but I can't move it. Now British Dash tried to define me, but I
Let's just like duplicate this and
can't move it. This isn't just a run, it's a record. This is where I push past when I shoot back.
I almost want to do like a little bit of a flash here, exposure flash. I know, dude. I was like pretty bummed, but I pushed through. I still got as much as I could. But I agree. I need to go back when I'm feeling good and I actually have like an appetite so I can enjoy the food. I should be going back next year though. If you're down, bro, let's link up.
I push past, shoot back. I push, shoot back. This is where
Actually, I don't like the expression.
I push past, shoot back. This is where I push past what I thought was possible.
I want more of an impact here, so let's here, I'll show you, Praveen, I'll show you my lens distortions campaign too. Let me know what you think about it. I hope YouTube doesn't get mad at me for playing the lens distortions audio, but so this is the campaign I just did, guys. I've been working on it over the weekend. This will be posted in about 2 or 3 days, but the backstory of this is it's about Colder Creative. I competed in the competition for 4 years, and then I didn't place for 3 years or 2 years. I placed 8th last year, and then I ended up placing 1st this year. And the whole time I used lens distortions assets, so that's kind of like the backstory of what this angle of the ad was. But I'll play it. It took 4 years to get this right. That's how long I competed in this film competition. Each year I poured everything into these submissions, but still didn't place first. After every loss, I refined my style, improved my craft, but one thing never changed. I always used cinematic assets from lens distortions. 4 years, 5 entries, and finally, 1 win. My style changed, my skills improved, but lens distortions was always part of the process. Rewatching it now, I actually feel like I could go harder on sound design. Like, I feel like the sound design actually felt a little weak. I don't know why. It sounded like super low. It took. But there's that one, and then there's this one. I think I'm pretty sure this one, this shot always, for some reason, whenever I change from vertical to horizontal, the tracking in color. Thank you, Blur Vision. The color, for some reason, goes super crazy. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Dude, you're freaking talented as well. I feel like our styles is actually pretty similar. That was like actually a collection of different my year montages, so that was like super relatively easy to put together because all of the hard work was like already done. But for some reason, Davinci, if you switch from vertical resolution to horizontal resolution, if you have magic mask tracked like for skin tones, if you switch, they just like end up not working, which is like, I don't know. I don't understand why. But this is my second one that I did. I was working on this all weekend. How many sound effects do you think are in this scene? Most people say 4 or 5, but it's actually just 1. A sound design track from lens distortions, impacts, ambience, texture, all pre-built into a single audio file. From there, I add subtle music, atmospheric layers, additional sound effects, and to finish it off, I apply a finishing LUT that unifies the whole look. It all feels cohesive because every asset comes from the same source, lens distortions. That is my second one. Yes, sir. Give him a follow. He is a beast, that's for sure. He's been dropping some bangers from Japan. That's the second one, but I'm super stoked to do a project with them. But I'm excited to get those videos out, and I have so many more. I'm trying to get out of like I feel like I've been in. Oh, I appreciate it. Appreciate it, guys. Little subtle ad for lens distortions. Actually sponsored. Typically I say not sponsored, like all the time. I always say not sponsored, but finally we got some sponsor. We should get some W's in the chats. Finally, a sponsored social media reel. Took way too long to get one of those. But let's keep on doing the sound design. I appreciate you. Yeah, I use only lens distortion sound effects there, which usually I use like Soundly and some other things. So it was interesting, like only utilizing lens distortions. I want to add a flare here as well, a a little bit of lens flash here to get us from here to here. So what I'm going to do is do this little exposure trick that I like doing. I go back 2 keyframes, and then I bring up zoom. So it gives us a little bit more of an ease into the scene. Here, let's go. Also, these are like too dark in my opinion. We had to do the color grade like so fast. I was so gassed the last time we were working on this. I was just like trying to get it done. But the shadows are definitely too crushed. That was a weird noise. If anything, I would like to have a mask over the subjects here. Yo, Faith, welcome, welcome. Sharif, also, thank you very much for the kind words. I appreciate you. Yeah, lens distortions is super sick. Everything about their branding and everything is like, I really, really like. So I want some vignette here on the subject, so I just create a mask and then I'm going to soften it out. Something like that. I feel like this is super dark. I don't know. I'm also making a mistake right now. I should be working on it on my second monitor. And for all of the Mac users, out there, a cheat code for displays. If you don't know this, go to displays, and for your preset, set it to photography. This makes it like a neutral type of color when you're color grading, because if you use Apple XDR, you get like kind of a warmer or colder tint. This gives you like a full-on neutral tint, and it's gives you more precise colors when you're color grading. Yo, please let me know whenever you're doing the next project sound effects. I definitely can learn a lot watching you do your sound process. For sure, dude. Yeah. Yeah, I just honestly do a bunch. I've never taken a sound effects course. I just do a bunch of random stuff and hope for the best. But it's good to hear that you like my sound effects. It's definitely something I've been like really concentrating on the past couple of years. I've decided I want these a lot brighter, and I definitely want to create more of a vignette here. So we're just bringing down overall exposure, which offset is really good at that. So we get more of a vignette look here. Like, look how dark this is. I don't know what I was thinking when I was color grading this. Probably I was so burnt out that I was like, I don't care what it looks like. Let's just get it done. We need to bring these black points up and the highlights up. Guys, when you're color grading as well, look at these like the tops of your highlights. If they hit 1,000, they're most likely peaking. So if you bring them up, for instance, like this, you can see you're losing a ton of detail. So I like to have my highlights usually kind of touching around here. And of course, my radial blur that I put in there to add some distortion on the edges. This one, I'm also going to do another vignette. And now that we've created one here, we can just start copying and pasting it places, like for instance here and here, and kind of feather it out. We want the main focus to be center. For sure want it to be center. I'm not the biggest fan of this flag shot, so we could change it out for something. This shot is one of my favorites from the whole shoot. But let's get rid of the shadows. I don't want to vignette it, actually. I just want to... We can actually put in the time today. Yeah, is that what you mean? The RGB split like this? Or do you mean something different? I don't know why this one's like blue. Yeah. Honestly, I was just like, screw it. Let's throw some black and white in here. Honestly, I just wanted to do it for the frames. It'll look cool in the frames at the end. That's really all why I wanted to. So it's the first time actually color grading black and white, and it is actually more difficult than I had thought. Like, some of these are, for some reason, like kind of bluish. Like these two are blue, straight up blue. Let's see. Okay, whatever that is, it's fixing it. These ones are still really dark. I've been really liking the oh no, I meant the RGB split in the visual itself, like the halation type of thing. Yes, I like it in the edges. I don't typically do it in the center of my images. But yeah, can you guys like hear me drink? I hope that it isn't like drinking ASMR every time I take a drink of something. I am a fan of it for sure. I like the look of it if it's done tastefully. Do you use RGB splits very often? This one is looking way too overexposed. I'm just gonna vignette them there. What I've been doing a lot is actually doing a radial blur. I've been finding radial blurs like super. Is it ASMR? Like, can you actually hear me like drink? I'm sure that's disgusting. Bro, quick question. Do you use DCTL? And what can you recommend? DCTL. I'm not sure. Could you explain what DCTL is? Yeah. Honestly, I'm a huge anamorphic fan. Not even like for the flares or anything. I just love the I love the lens characteristic that I get in the edges, and I try to emulate that even when I'm shooting on like Tamron glass. So typically I have radial blur on my edges, especially when I'm shooting for like social media stuff that I have like full creative control. I do a lot of radial blur there. These are looking better. This one I think I just need to swap this one out. Yes, actually I am using Dehancer right now. And the reason why I use Dehancer is because they reached out to me to make a video about it, which hasn't been released because I edited a BMW project, and they had a what is it called, non-disclosure NDA, and so I can't post that video until that non-disclosure, they post their own stuff. And so the only reason why I'm using Dehancer is because I've worked with them in the past, and I actually really like their plugin. If I didn't have Dehancer, I would be using Davinci's Film Look Creator, which we could edit some stuff in the Film Look Creator soon. I'll be definitely down to do that for some projects in the future. All right, now this is looking a little bit more cohesive. Yeah, it's looking a lot more cohesive. This one still looks a little bit different than, actually, this one. I really like this image, but I think I'm going to have to brighten it up, unfortunately, to match the others. Oof, I don't like that. Okay, let's just do a little bit of vignetting here. And I kind of want to bring down the highlights a little bit in this too. Okay, this one I just need to bring up overall. Let's swap this image out. I don't like. What Mac do I use? I use the M1 Max, and I bought this computer in 2021, and I've never had a single problem with it. Like it's been such a beast for all of my projects. I was like super impressed. I've always been a fan of Apple, as a product, but when they released the M1 Max, I was like, okay, it's time to finally make the switch from Windows to Mac. I didn't like how underpowered it was when they were using the Intel processors, but when they switched to their own, it was like a world of difference. How do you guys feel about this grade right here? This one needs some help for sure in terms of highlights. I just kind of need to bring them down quite a bit. We lit this all. It lets colorist. Okay, a DCTL is a small text-based script file with extension .dctl that defines how image data is processed at the pixel level. It's like a custom LUT or node effect, but with much more control. It lets colorist developers and advanced users write their own math-based transforms like gamma shifts, matrix. Wow, this is replicate camera or display color sequence science. That's awesome, dude. I don't think I do. So this is the vibe. like super. We set up lighting for this and everything. Lighting is something that I've been really diving into this year. Lighting and storytelling. We had limited resources. Like it was just me, lighting and filming. We had some help like setting up the lights, but we set up a Nanlite 300, actually 600 out here that was blasting this golden morning look. And then we actually had a 60 watt right here to give them a key. This is our practical light back here. So it looks like all the lights coming from the window, but actually there's a key light like right over here where this image is, that is diffused. That's giving him this look on his face. I would like to have some wrap around his cheek right here, but we weren't able to get it. If I did it again, I would have, or if I had more crew or budget, I would have some fill on his face, because as you can see, the side of his face is completely in shadow, which is fine for the look. We're going for a super low-key moody vibe, but I would like a little bit more detail here and a little bit of a patch, like a triangle of light here. But again, we only had like a couple hours to shoot this with limited. We only had like 4 lights. We had the 600, the 60, and then we had a tube light overhead to give them some separation from the background. And that's kind of what our lighting setup was for this. But as you can see, there's some blue. It's this orange golden light was conflicting with this blue. The blue is actually from 2 p.m. We shot this at 2 p.m. We wanted to make it a morning look. If we had more lights or more budget, we would set up a 1200 outside and blast this whole room at nighttime, probably, so we could really control our lights. But we didn't have much control at all. And so that's what we went for, and I think the result came out pretty good. Lots of grain, lots of shadow, lots of contrast on different things. We had some golden light on his face. I think it came out pretty good. Like you could see, like it's a little bit weird. There's blue and orange, but I think it's fine. Like this, I could bring down the highlights a little bit. They seem a little clipped. Right here, this image looks really screwed up. So let's try to fix this. It's a really nice shot, but I feel like the image is really screwed. So you can bring down highlights, though. That helps. I never want to get to negative 100 highlights. But sometimes you just blow out images. I can bring shadows down too. Let's see. That looks a little bit better. The problem is like this whole area right here is just so in shadow. So I actually created a mask here, and let's try to lift it up. So without this mask, you see how dark it is. Honestly, I'm super lazy with my masks. I think all I have to do is that. I mean, this is like a poor man's mask, right? For this. Let's give his hand a little bit more light. I'm trying to see if there you can tell. Just kind of looks like halation or something. But this area back here needs to get fixed as well. So let's create another mask around this door. How do I move this thing? I always forget like how to manipulate. Oh, there we go. Yo, thanks so much for stopping in, bro. Appreciate the kind words earlier, and love seeing your content. And I hope you have a great night. And glad you had a good time in Japan, Asia. It looks super sick. So yeah, bro, have a good night. Let's turn down the highlights of this even more. There we go. It's bringing it to a nice and even, but as you can see, there's like nasty stuff. So just feather the crap out of your masks. So there's quite a bit of things that may be wrong with this image. Like, it looks a little crazy, but I like it. There's so much character with the lenses and the grain that it's like kind of hard to pay attention to. Adios, my friend. And let's also let's do our little trick. So you grab an adjustment layer, you put it over the clip, and it's a flash. It's a flash of light. So once you get the flash of light, go 2 frames, grab this and just zoom in, right? And you get this kind of nice effect. I'm a filmmaker. I filmed too, so this whole scene, I set up the lighting and I filmed. So I was the director, DP, all of it. Like, this whole piece is one of the few pieces that like I did completely, almost by myself in terms of filming and editing. I had some help from the China media team, but yeah. Like, this look seems a little yellow. I almost want to try to change the yellow to something and see what I can see, what look I can. Yeah, I almost like the teal coming through. Almost like that more than the yellow. So let's see if we can put it on here. So this is actually looking crazy right here. It's super hot right here. I shot it with the Red Komodo and Sony ZV-E1. So these sequences were shot on the ZV-E1. I mean the Red Komodo. Produced a really nice image. What I just did, it actually does a lot. I changed it from a green look to more like orange and teal look. I feel like that's more cohesive with the full piece. And so I'm going to keep it kind of orange and teal-y. Like over here, it's very orange and teal. And so Davinci has a lot of nice ways of changing color really easily. as you can see, now we have a more orange and teal look, which I like a lot actually. And it's more cohesive with everything. But this one I don't like very much. And so let's bring it down by key outputting it down. His skin tone is really kind of too purple. So you see it goes from yellowish green to like more magenta orange. So I like it. Let's keep putting this on. Actually, it probably should be after the skin tones. Should probably be after the skin tone, the corrector. Rashid. So I shot it. I don't know if I answered this question properly, but I shot it with the Red Komodo and the Sony ZV-E1. And the reason why I went with the ZV-E1 was because we're supposed to hike 70 miles in the desert while also shooting the campaign. And so it seems like there's a lot of new people here. Let's show the whole edit. The colors aren't locked in completely yet, guys, but this is the vibe we're going for. And also, guys, I stream the whole process start from finish. So if you're interested, please consider subscribing. It helps me out a lot.
Dear Sydney, I sent you something. I've been thinking about the way that pain shaped both of us. That feeling like the world was already closing in before you even had a chance to move. You faced cancer, you lost your hearing, you missed whole pieces of childhood, but you never complained. You just kept going. Back then, I didn't know how to understand any of it. So I ran. From rooms I couldn't fix, from feelings I didn't want to sit with. You learned to live with limits that were never yours to begin with, on how much you could take, on what you could become. And maybe it's time we test those limits. I'm about to take on one of my biggest challenges yet, 70 miles across the Silk Road. I want you there with me. It's your decision on whether you want to accept.
I'm done asking, why me? And holding the pain that was never mine to carry. I'm done telling myself I can't. Pain tried to define me, but I kept moving. This isn't just a run, it's a regular. This is where I push past what I thought was possible. This is where limits break.
That's what we have. That's what we have. And so we're just kind of tidying it up before it's the final product. I knew I wanted to change up this color grade a bit because Davinci, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I wanted to tidy up this color grade because I want to make sure it's the best it can be before it gets seen. So that little jitter right here, that little zoom in gets you ready for what's about to happen with this transition here. So let's keep going. Good choice of changing the rock sound. Yeah, I think the sound effects definitely needed a little bit more refining. We just didn't have that much time to do it in the past, but like when we were trying to get it done during this 7-hour live stream, I was just trying to fight for my life, to be honest. Just trying to make sure to get through that day. And meet the deadline. So as you can see, it's like yellow, kind of greenish, which I like. I like that vibe, but I'm going for a more orange and teal look throughout. And so all I did was I went to this little color warper, hue saturation, and I brought the yellows to more of an orange to get that orange and teal vibe. But I'm really happy with how this piece has kind of progressed. I've shown it to a couple people, and they definitely gave me reassurance of like, okay, I've seen it 1,000 times, so I'm not really noticing like when you edit for so long. I'm sure a lot of you experience this, and you look at it 1,000 times, it kind of loses its magic. And I just had to make sure people were liking it. So it actually made someone cry, which was awesome to hear. That's the mission. Did you ever use Adobe? Yes, I started with Adobe. Actually, how I really started was I did photography, and I did Lightroom, and I really understood. I tried my best to learn color, like editing photos as best as I could, and then I went to Davinci Resolve. And I like Davinci. What am I saying? I went to Lightroom, then I went to Premiere Pro. From Premiere, I really liked the keyframing aspect of Premiere. I love the After Effects aspect as well. But the color grading was always lacking, and that made me, pretty sad that I couldn't color grade as much as I wanted to in Premiere with the adjustment layers and stuff like that. And so I ended up switching to DaVinci Resolve almost purely because the color grading. So that's the reason. Is it worth it? I wholeheartedly believe so, that it was worth the move.
What you could become.
So I brought highlights down like crazy, but let's go 0, and then let's actually do it through Dehancer and change this white point. The white point should be like here rather than there. And then we can adjust accordingly here. I think that looks a little bit better.
Could become.
I think that looks a little bit better.
You could take on what you could become. And maybe it's time we test those limits. I'm about to take on one of my biggest challenges yet. 70 miles across the Silk Road. I want you.
What's crazy is all we have here is the answer and nothing else. Like, I don't think this image needs anything else necessarily. Like, I think shadows are in a good place, maybe a little bit more down. Let's see where the highlights are. Ooh, we could bring highlights even further down. Let's try that again in Dehancer. Let's try bringing the target white down. Okay, yeah, that brings it down a lot. What we could mess with is also, okay, you seeing the image break a little there. When you get some like pixelation, you definitely don't want to do that. So I would say like here is good. And I feel like shadows could be a little bit better.
I want you there. I want you there with me.
We definitely need drums here. Are you using Adobe right now? And how do you like it? Are you frustrated with it? Do you like it? I also like how Davinci has full on just like a one-time payment, and then you're good, you know, for the rest of your editing career. Like one time, one and done. But I like, the only thing that's keeping me having an Adobe subscription is After Effects. Sometimes I use After Effects and Lightroom. I use Lightroom a lot too. But I'm getting pretty close to just saying, screw it, I don't want to deal with Adobe anymore. Like the subscription price, it's pretty annoying. Like getting charged $60 every single month is pretty annoying, in my opinion. Drums. Okay, so we don't need like drums like that. We need like tribal drums. Oh, I like that. Okay, I think this would work. Right there.
It's your decision.
Let's solo this. Right there. That's all we need. Actually, we could start this even sooner and then bring it out like that. Okay, let's hear it with everything.
You there with me. It's your decision. It's your decision on whether you want to accept it.
I'm done. No,
I feel like I need more here. Like I need more juice. Ajichi. I need more juice, I feel like.
I sent you something. I've been thinking about the way that pain shaped both of us. That feeling like the world was already closing in before you even had a chance to move. You faced cancer, you lost your hearing, you missed whole pieces of childhood, but you never complained. You just kept going.
Also, this one, I feel like something's a little off here, so let's bring this into color. We're just doing some final touch-ups to this piece. You know, I just don't have experience with the Fairlight page, and that's really it. I'm sure that's probably the proper way of doing it. But for me,
but you never complained.
This seems like, but for me, I don't know too much about Fairlight, and so sound design is kind of something I need to make sure I practice more and more. But yeah, it would be interesting to kind of dive into
But you never complained.
that program more. I think what's happening is it's too cool.
But you never complained. You just kept. But you never complained. You just kept going. Back then, I didn't know how to understand any.
This is one of my favorite shots from the whole
How to
project right here. I love this shot.
Didn't know how to understand any.
The slow pan up.
I didn't know how to understand.
I freaking love it. But yeah, I think it would be really good to let's compare this with this. Do we like that? Sorry it's so small for you guys too. Yeah, I would say this matches. These two match. Yeah, I would say so. Can't get too nitpicky because it's like
You missed whole pieces of.
let's think about this. I want to add a little bit more juice here.
So I ran. And else any of it. So I didn't know how to understand any of it. So I ran. From rooms I couldn't fix.
Of course, man. Like any questions that you have, I'm here to be an open resource. You said blacks look too black here. Let's look. Saying blacks look too crushed. This could very well be. We color graded it pretty fast, so let's check. The way I like checking is just like pulling it up. Yeah, you're right. It is a little bit too crushed. The way you can tell is the bottoms of these. You just want it like barely touching that 0. Let's put it like there. But the problem is it feels like washed out now to me. Honestly, kind of my color grading style is to crush the blacks. I really like super contrasty. This actually looks a lot nicer. Let's look at this one. Let's look at the black points here. And also, like, in terms of camera here, it was just the Sony CVE one, so the shadows might be a little bit.
But you never complained. You just kept going. Back then,
Yeah, like we lost so much detail here. But again, I'm not trying to go for perfection per se. I'm not a colorist. But probably shouldn't have super crushed blacks, huh? It's a little bit better.
I didn't. You just kept.
Like I feel like now it's like too washed out. I could probably do some more separation by masking. I'm curious to see how that would look. Like obviously the more time we spend on the look, the better it'll be. Let's add some vignette here and see. See how that looks. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Vignette adds a little bit.
Going.
Let's check these. I was kind of lazily color grading this, to be honest.
Back then,
Like here, I definitely want to create a mask around him. So let's grab this one, copy and paste it, and then bring it over him. Create a little vignette. Let's see how much we want it to be. Like that looks good. That looks pretty good here. We lost some detail in his hair for sure, but I think that's okay. I think that's okay. As you can see, like when you lift up the blacks, these blacks here, this is also telling me like, hey, there's some detail already crushed that cannot be saved just based on like the filming process and the lens. I was using Tamron lenses, and they somehow have the characteristic of crushing blacks, which I didn't know lenses could have characteristics of doing that. But you're right, the blacks were definitely crushed. I think this looks a lot better. So thank you for your observation. Here, I actually don't like how the mask is going in the sun. I mean, in the highlights. And so what I'm going to do is make the mask like this. You know, I could also not be lazy and make two masks. Here, I'll not be lazy for the sake of the stream. If you want to mask specific areas besides this, like only the edges to vignette the subject, what you can do, it's very similar to like Lightroom, is you create gradients here, and then you just drop the shadows. You can even turn up contrast here. And you can feather this out. Good amount. So it's only selecting, here I'll show you, it's only selecting that. And that's kind of what I'm wanting it to do. So darken up the edges, let the subject kind of pop out of it. And so we create another node here, and we paste it, but we don't want it double there. We want it here to kind of let the subject pop a little bit more. So that's kind of like how to have him bright in the foreground, a little bit darker, while also maintaining highlights in the sky. This, we could also create a mask around the letter. So let's grab this one. Paste it there, and to be honest, I don't want it to be that dark. Maybe just a little bit. Let's check color here. Color's fine.
you just kept going. Back then, I didn't.
Almost want this a little warmer rather than like magenta. But let's look back on this other.
Childhood, but you never complained.
Okay, let's keep note of how he looks here, because the zoom in is going to be like the same. So
You
let's
just
keep
kept
note.
going. Back
There and here.
going. Back then,
Back there. Turning Jackie into a goat.
I didn't know how to understand. I I didn't know how to understand any of it. So I ran. From rooms I couldn't fix, from feelings I didn't want to sit with.
Okay, now I can't really hear
Fix.
the running at all, so let's turn these a little bit back up. 14.
So I ran. From
Okay, I want to add a little car horn here. So let's go here. Do car horn. Something like that.
So I ran.
Honestly, I kind of want like a car drive-by horn sound effect. Car horn drive-by. Let's see if there's any. Yeah, I like that. It was getting honked by a Tezzy, according to Soundly. Let's bring this down here and make it really quiet. Almost like it kind of coming into the scene before you can even see it.
So I ran. From rooms I ran. From rooms I couldn't fix.
I definitely want to turn up the footsteps here.
From rooms I couldn't fix. From feelings I didn't want to sit with. This is no need.
Let's turn it up here too because we can't hear it.
Feelings I didn't want to sit with. This is no one to sit with.
I almost want to get like a sound effect there, like a deafening sound as he enters this cool shrine looking thing. So let's pull up some lens distortions. I have just the sound.
There's actually just one. A sound design.
You hear that? Like a zoom. By the way, guys, this is my most recent lens distortion campaign. If you want to see it.
How many sound effects do you think are in this scene?
Appreciate you guys being here.
Most people say 4.
Feel free to
5.
subscribe if you're learning something.
Actually, just one. A sound design track from Lens Distortions. Impacts, ambience, texture, all pre-built into a single audio file. From there, I add subtle music, atmospheric layers, additional sound effects, and to finish it off, I apply a finishing LUT that unifies the whole look. It all feels cohesive, because every asset comes from the same source. Lens Distortions.
My subtle little plug right there, but also I'm proud of this reel in particular because I actually don't edit very much. Okay. Let's pull this into we're looking for audio 2 voiceover. Show if you lose your clips in here, you can right click it and then find in media pool. So this should not be in whooshes. It should be just audio. Let's just put it in audio and then go here. I'm looking for a specific audio right now. That right there, the headwind. I really like this audio. But yeah, if you guys are learning anything, appreciate what I'm doing, please consider subscribing. Helps me out the most. I try to live stream every single day that I'm not filming filming for. Sometimes we randomly do 7-hour streams. So yeah, I would appreciate it. Let's do like right here.
Didn't want to sit with. You learn Louis.
Actually, let's do like here.
You learn to live with limits that were never yours to begin with. On how much you could take. On yes, ran. From rooms I couldn't fix. From feelings I didn't want to sit with. You learn to live with limits that were never yours to begin with.
What if I actually did it?
I didn't want to sit with. You learn.
What if we actually did it over here?
You learn to live with listener Louis. You learn to live with listener Louis. You learn to live with limits that were never yours to begin with.
I kind of like it there.
From rooms I couldn't fix. From feelings I didn't want to sit with.
Let's see what wishes I have. I have Gus wish.
From rooms I couldn't fix. From feelings.
I want a little bit harder of a whoosh. So let's go back to lens distortions. And let's do a definitive whoosh. That's my new favorite whoosh, is a definitive whoosh. This one right here. I don't want just like a basic whoosh. I want a definitive whoosh, guys. Who likes basic whooshes? Not me. Not me. Have you ever have I ever shot with it? I'm assuming you're asking. I have, and I really like the FX3 a lot. I have the ZVE1. Basically, my corporate setup is a red Komodo. Like if I'm doing corporate or commercial work, I shoot on a red Komodo. And my game plan eventually is to get the Komodo X with that.
From rooms I couldn't fix. From feelings.
Yeah, that's a lot better of a whoosh, in my opinion. And then we can move this other whoosh that we have here. Oh, there is a definitive whoosh. I have two definitive whooshes, but it sounds a lot better.
Couldn't fix.
Okay, so that means we just need to turn this one up because I'm not hearing it.
Couldn't fix. From feelings I didn't want to sit. Couldn't fix. From feeling.
And where's the other whoosh? Oh,
from
right here.
From feelings I didn't want to sit with. From rooms I couldn't fix. From feelings I didn't want to sit with. You learn to live with limits that were never yours to begin with. On how much you could take, on what you could become. And maybe it's time we test those limits. I'm about to take on one of my biggest challenges yet.
I love the FX3. I think it is like the only camera you need, especially if you're like
70 miles
starting out
across the Silk Road.
That is like the camera, honestly, for filmmaking, especially for video. If that's your vibe, if video's your vibe, then dude, FX3 or 30 will get the job done. I personally like FX3 to pay a little bit more of that money over the 30 because it's full frame compared to APS-C. And when I was starting out, I didn't even know what APS-C meant, or micro four thirds, or I'm not entirely sure what the FX30 is. But the full frame makes a lot of difference. It's just more expensive. But if you can't afford the FX3, FX30 is amazing. The best tool is the one that you have.
I want you there with me. It's your decision on whether you want to accept.
I'm done asking.
I want more action happening here. I want a definitive wish. That's what I want right here. I want another definitive wish. Where is it? You're gonna be put to use, definitive wish. Yeah, it's not cheap. If budget is of importance to you, definitely get the FX30 or the ZVE1. Do you think shooting RAW in ZVE1 is the same as shooting RAW in FX3? I actually don't think ZVE1 has RAW capabilities, but if it does, I would be extremely impressed. I actually shot this portion. This shot right here is shot on the ZVE1.
I'm done asking why me and holding the pain. I'm done.
I feel like I need like hits here. Let's try some trailer hits right there. Like I feel like we need some really big hits. I would be extremely impressed if the ZVE1 could shoot RAW. But what's going on, guys? 11 people here. How's it going? Is there some new people? I'm seeing a lot of new faces, honestly, and I really appreciate you guys being here and being active in the chat. Let me know if there's anything you want me to answer or talk about. I live stream every single day that I don't shoot for clients. Typically around 4:30 to 7 p.m. Central, but I might change to sometime at 1 o'clock, because if I do 7-hour streams, I'll do like 1 o'clock. We're going to try to find some trailer hits. My favorite place to do that is Lens Distortions. Not sponsored, but a little bit sponsored. Trailer hit. So let's try some of these. Like, let's throw boom. Let's do trailer hit bees. Bees in the cut, boys. Bees in the cut. All right, go to master. Let's go to sound. SFX. Let's throw these in here. Boom. I just feel like I need more. So let's just try these out and see what it's like. Boom. I'm liking the sound of it. Boom, boom, boom. I need more impact here. Okay, let's solo these. Okay, now let's copy and paste these. Let's duplicate them if we can. And bring these here. So it's like a crazy trailer hit montage. My favorite Lumix camera right now is the Lumix S9, just because of how tiny it is, and is it SR2X, SI2X. Remind me which one that is. I love Lumix because I'm a big anamorphic fan. Okay, I need these closer. Okay, this is not sounding right. Boom. Okay, that one's fine. So this one's early. Let's make sure this one's right. Okay, that one's right. Let's move this one here. Okay, let's move this one here. Oh, where did my videos go? Let's see if this even works. No, I don't like it. I need more like a boom, 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 boom. Something like that. Let's try that. Boom. That's right there. Yeah, and I'll be talking in booms. I'm talking in boom language. Boom. And then we're boom right here. Let's try. We're just trying different things, you know? Da, da. Da. And then honestly, let's throw in a burnt slides right here. Do we have burnt slides? Okay, that's easy. Burnt slides. One of my favorite lens distortions sound effect. Let's throw that in here for the fast paced. Let's see if it works. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. So it needs to end like here. Okay, I like that a lot actually. That's gonna add a lot. That's gonna add a lot. And then we need to make his running. I want to just listen to the running sound. Okay, let's look at this again. I think it's the SR2X. Is that it? What is the most recent Lumix camera? It's like I would cop that if I didn't have Sony actually, only because I'm kind of I love anamorphic.
It's your decision whether you want to accept it.
Huh. Okay, I'm not sure if I like that.
It's your decision. It's your decision of whether you want to accept it.
Okay, let's change this last one, this last trailer hit to be over here.
It's your decision of whether you want to accept it.
I'm done asking, why me? And holding the pain.
Do we like that?
I want you there with me. It's your decision of whether you want to accept.
I'm done asking.
Basically, the gist is like this starts the drums like
It's your decision of whether you want to accept.
I'm done asking.
I kind of like it.
Begin with, on how much you could take, on what you could become. And maybe it's time we test those limits. I'm about to take on one of my biggest challenges yet, 70 miles across the Silk Road. I want you there with me. It's your decision of whether you want to accept.
Okay. It's definitely too loud, so let's bring down these a lot.
There with me. It's your decision of whether you want to accept.
I'm done asking.
I think it definitely added a lot to the sequence that was otherwise pretty quiet.
Decision of whether you want to accept.
I'm done asking, why me? And holding the pain that was never mine to carry. I'm done telling myself I can't. Pain tried to define me, but I kept moving. This isn't just a run, it's a refinement. This is where I push past what I thought was possible. This is where limits break.
It's gonna say Altra here.
It's your decision.
Also, I want to turn up the drums here, because I can't hear them.
It's your decision.
Let's solo this.
It's your decision of whether you want to accept.
I'm done asking, why me? And holding the pain that was never mine to carry. I'm done telling myself I can't. Pain tried to define me, but I kept moving. This isn't just a run, it's a refinement. This is where I put battles.
Honestly, what I'd recommend you to do is go to like a vintage lens shop and check out Canon FD lenses. You could get some really nice looks from those lenses. But cinema lenses, they're all pretty expensive to be honest, but you can definitely find some that aren't like too bad.
Where I push.
But to answer your question, I would feel comfortable buying a cinema lens around
Push past what I.
let me think about this. What is like the most affordable cinema lens that I would buy? I don't know. It really just depends on the character. Like, there could be a cinema lens that's literally $50 in a vintage lens shop that used to be a photography lens that has really nice character. I feel like that's a kind of tough question to ask. Or to answer, sorry. Tough question to answer. Okay, saturation on that looked a little bit. Honestly, you could find some for like $800. I'll show you the ones that I use. They are let's put this here rather than there. Hello.
Leaving dinner in
Yeah, I'm pretty much
30 an hour.
probably like 15.
15? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll get started.
W girlfriend. Let's get some W's in the chat. W girlfriend. She's making a fantastic meal. I just want to see some W's in the chat. I would say like $800. Let me look. Since I'm here. I have been shooting on these. That's a W, Bavesh. That's a W. W girlfriend. I've been using these cinema lenses for a while, and they're like around $900 range. And I love them. I have no complaints with these cinema lenses. They're super nice. And IMO, I don't have any problems with them. So like, I would say this is a really good budget, full frame cinema lens. Mikey's. Also check out DCO film. These are not as budget friendly, but there's actually 700 right here. 800. I would say this is the range Vestvid primes that you're looking for lenses. I use 3 different sets. I'll show you guys what I use. Blazar Kato anamorphic. So if I want anamorphic, I shoot on Blazar 2x anamorphic. These are like the budget. I would say this is probably the best budget 2x anamorphic lenses on the market right now. They create beautiful images, awful bokeh, everything that you want in a 2x anamorphic lens. The only thing I don't really like about them is a little bit of their flare. So this is one set that I own. I don't have the 40 mil right now, but all the others I own. I also have iron glass vintage lenses. So this scene right here was shot on vintage glass. There's a lot of character. Excuse me. There's a lot of character vintage glass. It's pretty soft. As you can see, this is a very soft image. This was shot on a 20 mil. But it gives it a lot of character. This Komodo has a lot of grain in it, and I added additional grain, so it looks very filmic, in my opinion. Let's match this up with this shot. I feel like this image just needs more juice. Like, let's give it a little bit more saturation. And let's give it a little bit more color boost. Oh, that was not. I think the saturation did it. Can I see the Rec 709 converted? Yeah. For which one? This one is actually just a LUT for the conversion. I'll show you the conversion on my other one though. Skin tones are a little bit too magenta. The grains one. Okay. Yeah, I'll show you the grain. So I add grain through dehancer. So actually, there's no film grain on these shots. Let me make sure that's the case for all of them. Actually, I know why. These shots were shot kind of underexposed, so they're already super grainy, and so I didn't need to add additional grain to it. But I'm pretty sure these other shots here
Kept going.
Actually, I didn't put any grain on this stuff. I think I should. If we throw on some grain here, I think that would really spice up the edit. Like, I really like that grain.
Going.
What do you guys think? Grain or no grain? My first filmmaking camera. Thank you, Perry, for asking all these amazing questions. You're such a beast. My first filmmaking camera was a Panasonic GH5. That's why I like Lumix so much. What do you guys think? Film grain or no film grain? I really kind of like it a lot, to be honest. Sorry, I like it a lot. Let's throw grain on all this. On all of this. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do this a little bit smarter. What we're going to get is an adjustment clip. Okay. Stay with me. Adjustment clip. And we're going to put it over everything. Besides the super grainy shots that we already... Oh, what is my timeline doing, bro? What is my timeline doing? Work with me. Let's put it at the very end. Okay, so let's go through this. So here we can cut it. Here we can cut it. B&H would be good. Perry, I would wait for a deal because at this point there's probably some deals coming soon. So all of this can be cut here. It can be cut there.
I sent you something. I've been thinking about the way that pain shape.
Okay, so this is the end of that. So cut that. And now what we can do...
On how much you could take.
I'm actually okay adding grain here.
On how much you could take.
Yeah, honestly, I would
What you
wait.
could become.
What do you have right now? All right, now with our adjustment clips, we're going to do like, can I do this? I don't know if I can do this. Let's go here and let's put dehancer on it. Dehancer Pro, put it on there. Let's disable everything. Disable everything. Make sure everything is disabled. Besides the film grain, we want that. Let's disable all tools, okay. And then let's enable film grain, and let's pick actually that's fine, the ISO is fine.
And maybe it's time we test those limits. I'm about to take on one of my biggest challenges yet. 70 miles across the...
So now we have film grain throughout the whole piece. Does that make sense? I just want to check.
I'm done asking why now. Why me? And holding the pain that was never mine to carry.
I would just use, if you don't have Dehancer, I would just use the base Davinci. If I didn't start with Dehancer, in future projects, I would see myself using the Davinci plugin. So Davinci plugin that, I mean, I would recommend Dehancer. Definitely check it out. For me, it was worth it. I did a video with them. So for me, it was worth it. I got it pretty much in exchange for the video. So I would say it's worth it. But if you don't have this, then look up Film Look Creator. And this actually does a whole lot. And if you just want grain, just look up film grain and then throw it on at the end of everything. But I'm really liking this
I'm done telling
grain.
myself I can't. Pain tried to define me, but I can't move it. This isn't just a run, it's a refinement. This is where I push past what I thought was possible. This is where limits break.
I almost want to push this color grade like crazy. Like, I want to see if it's possible to push this color grade to something like I almost want to just push it like crazy, like juice it with, like make it like Dune style. Like juice it, like fully juice it. But I haven't done that ever. To make it like feel really desert vibes, like right about there. What do you guys think of that? To make it feel very deserty. Let's try it on this and see. Just like really amplify it. The colors. This was before.
This is where limits break.
But I almost want to juice it where it's like super warm looking and just like really stylistic. Make it very orange.
This isn't just a run, it's a refinement. This is where I push past what I thought was possible. This is where limits break.
I don't know. Maybe for the director's cut, I'll do that and just make it super stylistic looking. Like this image, I feel like it has so much potential to look so juiced. I want to juice it up by just like making it super desert vibes. Like something like that. Something I'm a little scared to do, but like have been extremely curious, especially recently. I've been like extremely curious on color grades that are extremely pushed. But we don't have to do that. That might be for another project, not this one. I'm curious though, like if we did this and then we got the stopper and we added a stop here, like all this stuff. Actually, I want to minus this stuff too. Like we got this stopper, right? Oops, did not mean to do that. What's going on? Okay. And then we made this like super blue, right? Be like a crazy orange and teal look. I mean, obviously this is messed up because the selection's not very good. But just something I want to kind of play around with in terms of coloring. It's just like really pushing images. I don't know. It's just a thought. This feels just like so bland, you know? I almost want to like push it to extremes. Where it's like, wow, they're in like a full on. I don't know. For now, we can just leave it as is. But let's go back to this area that we did a lot of sound design in, and also let's copy this and let's paste it onto these. Okay. Yeah, I feel like it's super stylistic, but let's watch this whole thing all the way through and see our changes and make sure everything's cohesive still. That's lagging because of the grain.
Dear Sydney, I sent you something. I've been thinking about the way that pain shaped both of us. That feeling like the world was already
I
closing
really
in
like the grain,
before
guys.
you even
I
had a chance
really
to
like
move.
it.
You faced cancer, you lost your hearing, you missed whole pieces of childhood, but you never complained. You just kept going. Back then, I didn't know how to understand any of it, so I ran. From rooms I couldn't fix, from feelings I didn't want to sit with. You learned to live with limits that were never yours to begin with, on how much you could take, on what you could become. And maybe it's time we test those limits. I'm about to take on one of my biggest challenges yet, 70 miles across the Silk Road. I want you there with me. It's your decision on whether you want to accept it.
I'm done asking, why me? And holding the pain that was never mine to carry. I'm done telling myself I can't. Pain tried to define me, but I kept moving. This isn't just a run, it's a reckoning. This is where I push past what I thought was possible. This is where limits break.
There we go, guys. There we go. Barry, yes, I got paid for this. We did a campaign for the Altra shoe brand. What do you guys think? Is there any last questions or anything? I think that was sounded really, really nice. I think I might bring down the music a little bit. So we brought it back up, but I feel like we're losing the -12. We're losing the voiceover a little bit in it, I think. All right, let's just listen to it without music. That sounded a little strange, whatever
Dear
happened
Sydney.
there. Something's happening here. Let's look. Just because it's okay.
Dear Sydney, I sent you something.
We also don't need the sound effects to be perfect, right?
I've been thinking about the way that pain shaped both of us. That feeling like the world was already closing in before you even had a chance to move. You faced cancer, you lost your hearing, you missed whole pieces of childhood.
I almost want, like, you face cancer, boom, like an impact right here. Some form of impact. So let's go here. Let's see. Let's do a trailer hit. Love me some trailer hits.
You faced cancer, you lost your hearing, you missed whole pieces of childhood. But you
Okay, I like that.
cancer, you lost your hearing, here's cancer, you here's cancer, you lost your here's next you faced cancer, you lost your hearing, you missed whole pieces of childhood, but you never complained. You just kept going. Back then, I didn't know how to understand any of it. So I ran. From rooms I couldn't fix, from feelings I didn't want to sit with. You learned to live with limits that were never yours to begin with. On how much you could take, on what you could become. And maybe it's time we test those limits. And maybe it's come. And maybe it's time we test those limits. I'm about to take on one of my biggest challenges yet. 70 miles across the Silk Road. I want you there with me.
Oh, something sounded bad there.
70 miles across the Silk Road. I want road. I want you there with me. It's your decision on whether you want to accept.
I'm done asking, why me? And holding the pain that was never mine to carry.
Okay, so this wind is a little bit much.
Miles across the Silk Road. I want you there with me. It's your decision on whether you want to accept. I see there's no weird though. No.
We're gonna turn that up. We're gonna turn this up a lot so you can hear.
On whether you want to accept. It's your decision on whether you want to accept. I see there's no weird though. No.
Guys, I listen. This is what my envision myself to try to be like. I want to try to be like the Bob Ross of video editing. That's my goal. I should grow an afro. I should do an afro stream for sure. Let's turn these down a little bit. Where people can just come and chill out. I put you to sleep with my editing.
It's your decision on whether you want to accept.
I'm done asking, why me? Me now.
Where's his breath? I don't hear any of like the human breath in here. This needs to be turned way up.
Why me? Me now. Me.
I'm like,
Why me? And holding the pain that was never mine to carry. I'm done telling myself I can't. Pain tried to define me, but I kept moving. But I can't make it. Pain tried to...
let's thank you, man. It's so tedious. It's just like putting layers over and over and over
to
everything.
define me, but I kept moving. This isn't just a run, it's a reckoning. This is where I push past what I thought was possible. This is where limits break.
I almost want something here
This isn't
too.
just a run, it's
I almost want the
it's a
trailer
run.
hits. Boom,
It's a
boom,
reckoning.
boom, boom,
This is where
boom.
I push past what I thought was possible. This is where limits break.
Okay. Now let's check the audio levels of the song with the voiceovers.
Dear Sydney, I sent you something. I've been thinking about the way that pain shaped both of us.
Let's actually solo the voiceovers and let's increase them as much as we can.
Dear Sydney, I sent you something. I've been thinking about the way that pain shaped both of us.
So we can actually voice isolate all of this.
Thinking about the way that pain shaped both of us.
Also, does this have equalizer on it? It doesn't. Does it? Do we have it in Fairlight? Yeah, we do. Okay. Okay. Let's voice isolate all of this. Voice isolation, it's my favorite tool.
Dear Sydney, I sent you something. I've been thinking about the way that pain shaped both of us. That feeling like the world was already closing in before you even had a chance to move. You faced cancer, you lost your hearing, you missed whole pieces of childhood, but you never complained. You just kept going.
Guys, AI now in Davinci is like so nice. Like this voice isolation just
Back then,
takes out everything besides the voice.
I didn't know how to understand any of it.
I almost want...
And I didn't know how to understand any of it. So I
You hear that? You guys hear that like...
ran from
You hear that
so I ran
from the mic?
from rooms I so I ran from
Let's get rid of that in one click. AI voice isolation. Boom. And guess what?
so I ran
It's
from
no,
rooms I couldn't fix,
it's no longer there.
from feelings I didn't want to sit with. You learn to live
On how much you could take. On what you could become. Let's increase the volume of that. Let's increase the volume a little bit on this waveform too.
It's ready.
It's ready?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's give it one more watch. Give me 1 second. I just gotta voice isolate all of these, every single one by one. Any last minute questions, guys? I'm about to head out and get some dinner, but I really appreciate everyone who stopped in. Today was a great day. Lots of viewers, lots of people chilling, watching the stream, which is awesome. Love to see it. If I keep on seeing like growth like this, and in terms of viewership and comments and everything, I mean, I don't keep on doing this like all the time. It's really fun, to be honest. Okay, one more listen. Final one. And I'm looking and checking chat for any last minute questions. Okay, so that actually seemed the color here. I got them from a couple of sound packs that I've purchased, and Lens Distortions and Soundly. This shot seems a lot more saturated and glowy than that shot. So let's try to fix that real quick. Where is it? Oh, it's not there. It's over here. It's not there either. It's over here. Okay. Let's see that. I think all we need to do is add a little bit more saturation, a little bit more juice. And then really this, we could bring saturation a little bit down. Just a little bit. Compare, contrast, compare, contrast, compare, contrast, compare, contrast. Cool. And then this, we can bring up saturation just a tad. Boom, 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 boom. This, actually, we could go like 46. Okay. And I recommend Soundly Lens Distortions and purchasing sound packs that you enjoy. VT Essentials by Bryn North as well. I use that. All right, guys, and then Ultra would come up. The stream's stuck on the edit page. But guys, I gotta. Oh, what's going on? I gotta head out. Was it not playing? Wait, let me see. weird. I think it fully glitched. Weird. I don't know why it did that, but guys, thank you guys so much for stopping in. I'm gonna try to fix that for the next stream. I don't know why it did that. But I really appreciate you guys coming in, and I'm gonna play my outro here. It's good vibes if you want to listen to it. Just how I like to end my stream. And I thank you guys very much